Hi, welcome to How to Cook Chicken. Today we're going to cook chicken cordon bleu. Sounds fancy, but really it's just chicken wrapped around ham and cheese. So, all you need is chicken breasts, some ham and some cheese. Nothing more right now because all we're going to do is wrap the chicken around the ham and cheese and then refrigerate it for 2 hours. Then we'll come back and do the rest. So, to get started, you're going to need some cling film or saran wrap and lay that out. Take a chicken breast and cover it. Now we're going to beat it to death, either with a meat tenderizer or a good old rolling pin. So what we want is that flattening so that it's maybe 1/4 of an inch thick. And once you've got it all 1/4 of an inch thin, leave it on the cling film and then start to add some ham. Add some cheese on top of this. Now it's up to you, you can use grated cheese. I like to use a strong cheddar, which I've got here. You can use sliced Emmental, sliced cheddar. Pretty much any cheese you want to add in there will work, because this is all about how you like your food. Don't do it exactly the way I do it unless you want to. So, once we've got the cheese in there, we then start to roll everything together. And then place that on the cling film and bring the cling film over and roll it together. And we can take the cling film and roll this nice and tight. Tie the ends of that cling film in a knot to keep it all a nice shape, and then place on a plate. And then we're going to do that again for however many portions that you need. And there you have it. Once you've done as many as you want for however many people you're serving, make sure they're all rolled up, and we're going to refrigerate them for the next 2 hours. So, we've now had the chicken chilling in the fridge for 2 hours, and it's time to cover them in breadcrumbs. So basically what we're going to do is dredge them in flour, cover them in egg, and then put them in the breadcrumbs and coat them in the breadcrumbs. Now there's a very good way of doing this. You should always have one dry hand and one wet hand. So what I'm going to do is cut open the chicken wrapper, take out the chicken, and using one hand put it into the flour and then into the egg. The second hand will then roll it round in the egg and put it into the breadcrumbs and coat it and put it down. That way I always have one dry hand and one wet hand. So, let's try this. We'll unwrap the chicken, which is now going to stay in shape. And then we have the one dry hand, which will coat in flour. The flour helps the egg to stick to the chicken. And then we place that into the egg, keeping this hand dry, and then roll this around in the egg, making sure to coat both ends. And then drain the egg off, make sure as much is drained off as possible, and place into the breadcrumbs. And we can now just roll that around in the breadcrumbs, and it will coat completely And there we go. And now that we've got them all covered in breadcrumbs, it's time to fry them. So take a nice deep sautéing pan and fill it maybe 3/4 of an inch full of oil and heat up. If you're never sure whether the oil's at the right temperature, take a tiny bit of water, and I mean a tiny bit of water, dip your finger on and let one drip go in. Can you hear that? That's that water boiling, because the oil is way above boiling temperature. That means that your fat is now over boiling temperature and should be around the temperature that you need to cook your chickens. So we're going to roll one of the chickens onto a spoon and place gently into the oil. Then take the next, roll it onto a spoon and place into the oil. Now, if you're cooking for 8 or 10 people, it might be an idea to do this in a few different pans, or to do this and then keep them in the oven. Because if you have too many to the oil at one time, they'll cool the oil down and it won't carry on cooking. Now what you can do is roll them over gently in the oil, and that way all the breadcrumbs that are at the top that aren't in the oil will then get into the oil. And then we're going to leave it to cook until all the breadcrumbs are a nice golden brown. And then when they're a nice golden brown, remove them from the oil, drain slightly, place onto a baking sheet, and these are then going to sit in an oven, keeping warm, whilst you cook all your accompaniments for your meal. Now, accompaniments for this are going to be totally up to you and somewhat based upon your tastes and where you come from. But for me, with this meal, what we'll be having is roasted potatoes with some vegetables, probably carrots, peas and sweet corn, and a nice cheese sauce. So there we go. These three are now going to go in the oven and get served in probably 20 minutes.